Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Got a new Cardfight Vanguard video for you guys today. As you guys can see, today we're on Cardfight area because today we're talking about Destined 1 of Infinity Levy Dress. Unfortunately, these cards are not on Van Pro yet, as these cards just got announced yesterday and it takes them a little bit longer to end up on Vanguard Pro. But we're going to be talking about Levy Dress, we're going to be talking about his support, and we're going to be trying the deck out. I will tell you right now, I play this deck on stream, and this deck has some sauce. So we're going to talk about some of the things that you can and can't do with it, and my overall opinions, or at least my first opinions of the deck. So if you guys enjoy the type of content, drop a like on the video, subscribe if you're new to the channel. Let's jump in and let's start talking. Starting off with Stagnipper Dragon. So this is our basic starter. Unfortunately, if you want to use the Levy Dress ride line, you have to use this starter, so it gives away what you're playing immediately. The reason you need it is for this one, Scorp Piercer Dragon. If you have Stagnipper and Dragon in your soul and you would ride Mana Scythe Dragon, you can ride without having to discard a card. Manta Scythe Dragon, when this unit is rode upon by grade 3 with Levy Dress in its card name, Energy Blast 3, look at the top 5 cards of your deck. Choose up to one grade 3 or less from among them, reveal it, put it into your hand, shuffle your deck. That effect is insane because it lets you get any card. So you can get Orders, you can grab Elementary or Sanctitude, like grade 3 or lower, it means you have access to the entire deck, so you're always going to get a card off of that. And then of course we have Destined 1 of Infinity Levy Dress. So if you guys saw me cover my review of episode 1 and 2 of season 2, I damn near nailed Levy Dress's skill right away, even the cost, minus the 1 Soul Blast cost for the Divine skill, but we'll talk about all that right now. So Levy Dress's skill, act once per turn, counter blast 1, choose one of your and your opponent's rearguard circles each and put an Infinity Eyes marker on them. I like the fact that this is not open, so there's plenty of flexibility there. When any player's unit on a rearguard circle with your Infinity Eyes marker attacks, you may have that unit get plus 10,000 or minus 10,000. If your opponent's unit was minus 10,000, remove your Infinity Eyes marker from that rearguard and draw a card. There's a lot to that. We'll talk about that after we finish the skill. Divine skill, act, Vanguard circle. If your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, Soul Blast 1, choose one of your and your opponent's rearguard circles each, put an Infinity Eyes marker on them, and this unit gets 10,000 power plus 1 critical. That's a lot. So, the skill sounds pretty basic. You know, you put the eyes markers, you can buff your attacks, you can nerf your opponent's attacks. Divine skill lets you get an extra 2 quick, because normally you can only get 1 on each side per turn. First off, the fact that the only requirement for the Divine skill is that you and your opponent are both at grade 3 means that this deck is already good going first or second. You go second, you can get to grade 3, you can immediately get 4 Infinity Eyes markers and just punch your opponent in the face. You go first, you can build up on your advantage, you can get ready to nerf your opponent's attacks. Like, solid, just off that. Not even talking about any of the rest of the support, but let's talk about the Infinity Eyes markers. So, a couple of things I discovered with the Infinity Eyes markers, because I played this deck on stream yesterday, like right after the cards got announced. Speaking of which, if you guys ever want to see the streams, I stream usually every Tuesday, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, either here on YouTube or twitch.tv/Ethical. So if you guys want to see new decks, you guys want to talk about cards, those streams are always fun to have. But as far as Levy Dress goes, a couple things with the Infinity Eyes markers. Specifically, it says your Infinity Eyes markers, so in the mirror match, it's not like you and your opponent, like your Infinity Eyes markers count for each other. It's only specifically your markers, so make sure you guys have a way to clarify that. The plus 10k on your markers, on your rearguards, huge. Like the numbers this deck gets easily breaks 50k with certain combos. We'll talk about that as we talk more about the deck. The minus 10k, it's optional. And only if you use it on your opponent's cards does it remove the Infinity Eyes marker and you draw a card. Because why would you want to ever give your own cards minus 10? Because you can. Let's say you have an on-swing skill, but you're trying to damage deny your opponent. Like say you're playing against Vargas, and you don't want to give them an additional counterblast for an additional attack. You can still swing with a card that has an on-swing skill, give yourself minus 10 so the skill doesn't hit, and that way you don't lose anything without actually, you know, helping their game state. So things like that. Like this skill, these Infinity Eyes markers are going to be a huge skill check. A couple other things you can do. You can stack them, but the minus 10 or plus 10 does not stack. You can only use one minus 10 or one plus 10. But in the case of going against a multi-attack deck, like for example Razale, I did this to a Razale player where I stacked 2 markers on 1 circle. So when they swung, I was able to give 1 attack -10, remove them Infinity Eyes marker, draw a card. When they called over it, I was able to give the following attack a -10 to draw an additional card and remove the Infinity Eyes marker. So you can plan a lot and do a lot of really, really cool stuff with the Infinity Eyes markers. Also, you can put an Infinity Eyes marker behind the Vanguard. So when they put a booster behind the Vanguard, if it's in like an 8k booster, it's going to have -2k on it, bringing the Vanguard down to 11. So you either can eliminate boosting for just about the entire game, or you're going to nerf an attack because by itself that attack becomes a 1 to pass. So something like a draw trigger now becomes a 2 to pass. So it's just, there's really, really clever interactions like that. So this deck is going to take a little bit of brain power, but it's going to pay off greatly. Like, it's a skill check for both players, and that's why I really, really like it. Because normally I hate Stoatia decks, but this one's like speaking to me. Alright, but that's that. As far as our trigger lineup goes, we went a little weird with the triggers. Don't mind the 3 different crits. That was kind of an accident, but it's fine. We went 8 crits, 3 draws. The only weakness I would say this deck has is this deck doesn't have any way to gain inherent advantage. It doesn't actually draw a bunch of cards. It doesn't do that much superior calling. Like, a lot of it is like 1-for-1s, which is cool. But you want to be able to see certain cards, and you want to be able to maintain a hand so that way you don't die. Because it has great offense, and the defense is nice, but sometimes you just don't draw enough. We went with the Stoatia Overtrigger because this thing's still ridiculously powerful. And normally I stay away from effect heals because that extra 5k in normal situations really does matter. But there's so many cards that gain extra crits now that I'm trying out the extra crit heal trigger just to see how it goes. Maybe I'll take it out. We'll talk about it later. We have our PGs, our 3 PGs, our 1 Elementary Sanctitude. We're playing 3 Habitat. Again, goes back to what I was saying, where you need to be able to see your combo pieces. This lets you search top 7 to call out a card, which is a huge chunk of your deck to be able to get into the cards you really want. This is one of our support cards that came out with it. Requires an Infinity Eyes marker. At the end of the battle, this unit attacked or boosted. If you have an Infinity Eyes marker in the same column as this unit, and you did not countercharge this turn, you can move this into the soul and countercharge. So it's soul support, it's countercharge support. This deck does like no soul blasting, so we kind of threw in some soul blast cards to make use of that soul. But you'll see why in a second. I nailed this effect. This is our full knowledge Foxel. This is our persona booster for Levidras. If you have Levidras as a Vanguard, it gets a continuous 5k power, regardless of where it is. But if it boosts Levidras and you have an Infinity Eyes marker on your opponent's rear guard, this unit gets an additional 2k until the end of battle. And you can counterblast 1, choose one of your back row rear guards until end of that turn. It can attack from the back row and get 10,000 power. So this is one of the ways you get multi-attacks. There's one other card, but we'll see that in a second. I threw in a couple sweet honey gardens, great for defense, and because we're using Hallucinatory Morpho. So Hallucinatory Morpho, when this unit attacks, if your drop zone has a Blitz Order, you can Soul Blast 1, get an additional 10k. On an Infinity Eyes marker, this is a 30k unboosted without Persona Ride, which is humongous. And it's also a really, really good early game card because the skills do not have any restrictions. At the end of the battle that this unit attacked, Counterblast 1, bind this unit, search your deck for up to 1 grade 2 or greater Blitz Order without Regalis Piece, so basically our Sweet Honey Garden, and reveal it and put it into your hand and shuffle your deck. If your drop zone has a Blitz Order, you may search for a normal order instead of a Blitz Order. That is because of searching for Infinity Knowledge. We'll talk about that in a second. This, by far, is the best card in the deck. On fall, Anado Gaster. This thing is psychotic. Once I figured out how this thing worked, because the first couple games I played with this deck, I was using this thing wrong. Once I figured out how this card works, this thing is psycho. When this unit is placed on rear guard, doesn't have to be from hand. If you guys saw my review of the episode, I thought it was from hand. I was wrong. The only reason he didn't use it is because he was out of energy. If you have an Infinity Eyes marker in the same column as this unit, Energy Blast 3, look at the top 2 cards of your deck, choose a card from among them, put it into your hand, and then the rest on either the top or the bottom of the deck, and this unit gets 5,000 power till end of turn. So when you check the top 2, you have to add one. You can't just leave the cards on top of the deck or put them both on the bottom. But that last second card being able to go on the top or the bottom means if you get a trigger and a normal unit, you can add the normal unit, stack the fucking trigger. I didn't realize it could do that, and I just kept bottom decking the card, thinking that's how it just worked, because, you know, like Header Sanctuary cards, that's how they work. Nah, this thing, crazy. But then its second skill, this is how you get your 5 attack turn. During your turn, if you have a Grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Levy Dress in its card name, and you have 3 or more Infinity Eyes markers, mind you, they do not need to be on your circles. So, this is why I say this deck goes crazy turn 3, because you can use Levy Dress's Divine skill. Now you have 4 markers. Now this gives you your attack from the back row. So now with this and Foxel, you have your 5 attack turn. But back to what I was saying. You have 3 or more Infinity Eyes markers. This unit gets an additional 5k. And if you do not have another rear guard with this same card name as this unit in your back row, this unit can attack from the back row. So this thing's gaining plus 10k power. You put this on an Infinity Eyes marker, it's a 30k attacking from the back row with no other boosts. We're throwing Inlet Pulse, just generic, you know, free draw. And this deck gets 4 attacks without even trying. We threw in 1 Bracing Angeletta. We had a one-off space, and Shura is still a thing. And this deck, I could see this deck having issues with heavy retire because of the fact that it doesn't draw a shitload of cards. And then the last card is Searching for Infinity Knowledge. This is the last support card that we got. You play this with an Energy Blast 2 if you have a Vanguard with Levy Dress in its card name. You choose a card with a grade less than or equal to your Vanguard. So if you have Levy Dress, so every grade 3 or lower. You call it to a rear guard, and that unit gets 5k for every Infinity Eyes marker in the same column as that unit. So those Infinity Eyes markers that you might stack, that's 2. Whatever ones you have on your side, if you made a column, that's 2. Like, I think the most I've given with this skill is plus 20k. But then you give plus 20k to something like Morpho in the back row. Now Morpho is a 30k, her skill makes her a 40k, and Infinity Eyes marker makes her a 50k, and then say you use Foxel on her so she could swing from the back row. That is 30, 40, 50. That's a 60k rearguard swing from the back row. On top of everything else you can do. Like, this deck is silly. But I've talked enough about it. That's all the support we have. This is the build that we put together on stream. And we're going to go jump into a game. So, let's do it. Alright, what do we got? Cool. Alright, we're going first. And we got a banger of a hand. Ooh, this is going to be fun. Alright. So let's do this. Alright, so we draw for turn. Oh my god, this hand is damn near perfect. If I had a blitz order, this hand would be perfect. So instead, what we're going to do is we're going to ditch an Anatogaster since we only need 1. And we're going to ride grade 1. And we're going to get our Energy Crest. Now let's see if I can't impress you guys. So it looks like we're with Bruce. Is this actually Bruce? It is. Interesting. They're probably using the new Bruce support, so I might have a couple cards that I don't actually know what they do. We're going to no guard here. We want at least 2 damage going into turn 3, because that's how we'll get our 5 attack turn. Because with the cards we have our 5 attack turn. That's cool. We'll take that too. I don't like the crit though. I'll take that over trigger though. Alright. Draw for turn. And we got our Sweet Honey Garden. I actually really wanted that. Oh wait, we don't have to ride. Ooh. Ooh. Our skill actually kind of screws us here. That we don't have to, we get to ride for free. Because I want to use Morpho to search, but we can't. So maybe I just won't use Morpho. So we'll use Habitat to check top 7. What do we get to call? Do we want to call an Anatogaster already? Or a Foxel? You know what? We'll call Foxel. Shuffle the deck. And then we'll call Morpho and another Foxel. Battle phase. We're gonna take out this grade 2. Oh, grade 1, I'm sorry. Swing and boost. Heal trigger, beautiful. And then swing, skill, Soul Blast 1. Gain an additional 10k power. That is not enough. I do not want to search a Blitz order. Instead, what we're going to do is we're going to try to guard with Sweet Honey Garden next turn, and then use this to search, searching for Infinite Knowledge on our next turn. Because searching for Infinite Knowledge is going to be dope. We'll use the other habitat to get another attacker on top of using another Gaster, so we'll get our 5 attack turn. I kind of want to actually take 3 damage, or 2 damage, I should say. What is this thing? If you have a Vanguard Diablos and its card name, look at top 7. Nice. But let's see how they decide to attack us. Calling that to the back row. I don't know what they're doing here. We're going to go no guard here. Damage. I'm going to pump up Morpho. Because I want the damage. And then we'll guard this. Alright. We are set for our next turn. Alright, so we're going to discard Sweet Honey to ride. We're going to use our grade 2 skill. We're going to get Energy Blast 3, check top 5. Get to add any grade 3 or lower card. I wish these weren't draw triggers. I think I'll grab the heal trigger. Because we're going to get searching for Infinity Knowledge on our next turn, and I don't think we need another Morpho, so I think I'm just going to grab the trigger for defense. Alright. So we're going to get rid of this, because we didn't get rid of it. We're going to play another habitat. Check top 7. This time we're going to call Inlet Pulse. Oh my god, what a, or the counter charge. That's a toughie. I think Inlet Pulse is probably the smartest. Yeah, we'll grab Inlet Pulse. Just to get the extra draw. Now we're going to use Vanguard skill. Is that where I want it? Yeah. Okay, and then I get to make 1. And we're going to put it here, because we want this to be able to hit. And then we're going to call another gas. Ooh, does he need one in the same column as himself? Oh, we have to have 3 Infinity Markers, so we can't attack with him from the back row. So we're actually going to call this here. And I will leave that there. We'll move this back and call another Gaster. So we can't get a 5 attack turn yet, because we need 3 markers. Oops. Alright, so we check top 2. We're going to add Clarence to hand, and we're going to leave that on top of the deck. So, we're good to go. We have our 4 attack turn. I forgot that you have to have 3 Infinity Markers to get the extra attack. My bad. So, here's what we're going to do. We're going to go Battle Phase. We're going to swing with the Vanguard. And then Foxel's skill, we're going to give 10k over to Inlet Pulse, so we're going to attack from the back row. No guard. Heal trigger, since we stacked it. We'll give 10k power. This is going to be 23. This is going to be 20. So we'll give it here. And heal 1. He has plus 5k on himself. And then second check, Morpho. Alright. Next we're going to go 23 at the Vanguard. Alright. Now we're going to go another 23. And then we're going to swing, skill, Soul Blast 1 for an additional 10k power. All right, 5 damage. So that's just an example of what you can do with the deck. We pumped up our own columns. Oh my god, I was missing 10k on the right side. So that was a 33k row on the right side. Granted, he didn't guard that one anyway, so it's fine. But that's just a mistake that I made. Now, next turn, I'll have my 3 markers, so I'll be able to attack from the back row with an Adagaster. And we don't have searching for... Oh, shit. Oh, bind. Totally spaced that out. I knew I was forgetting something. Where is it? Bam. Okay. I was talking. He was going fast. My bad. That's why I hate that this stuff ain't automated. What was I saying? So that's an example of us being able to use them in pretty much the maximum of our skills. We were able to get solid advantage on as well as dealing out a lot of damage. Do you do anything that I need to worry about? You're just gonna restand. So we're gonna guard you. Now, normally I would try and save this Infinity Eyes marker if I needed to, but we're trying to push. Well, not push, but we're trying to kill him next turn. So minus 10k power. We get to draw a card. And I'm gonna guard and guard with Morpho. See, this is why I don't like the effect heals, because that could have been a 1-card guard. That upsets me. Alright, we're gonna no guard the Vanguard. And now he's gonna stand the other column too. That's fine. Still no guard. I don't like that he got a crit, but that's fine. Alright, so 1, crit the Vanguard, draw the Vanguard. Beautiful. So we got 35 and 55. We have a PG, but we don't need to burn up too much advantage. We're gonna take 35. We'll guard that with 10k. He should have swung at the rear guard there. Another Gaster is too strong of a card to leave on the board. So now we'll draw Persona Ride. What's in our drop? Anything spicy? Morpho. Yeah, Morpho. So we're gonna go to main phase 2. We're gonna play Searching for Infinity Knowledge. Energy Blast 2. Well, hold on. We don't want to use that yet. God damn it. We're gonna use skill first. We're gonna put marker here. So the reason we're... Oh my god, we never used Inlet Pulse last turn either. So we... Man, I am just missing all my plays. Alright, let me do this real quick, because you're going to need another one. Now we're using our Divine skill. So we're going to Soul Blast 1. We're going to put a marker here. Whoops. And now we're putting one on the same circle. So if he doesn't die, every time he tries to swing with that circle, we can reduce it by 10. Then we're going to swap these two out, since a Natogastar can now attack from the back row, and he gets 5k and can swing from the back row. All right. Now we play Searching for Infinity Knowledge. Energy Blast 2. We're going to grab Morpho. And now Morpho is going to gain plus 10k from the marker, plus 10k from the Persona Rod, and then plus 20k from Searching for Infinity Knowledge. And our Vanguard is going to get 10k in a crit because we use Persona Rod. There we go. You have plus 10k from the marker. You have plus 10k from the marker. We're good to go. Alright, battle phase. We're going to swing in skill, counterblast 1, plus 10k to inlet pulse, and he can swing from the back row. And remember, Morpho can give herself an additional 10k after her swing. So, or when she swings, I'm sorry. 28, 33, plus another 5k shield, 38, 48. That's still even. No guard. No triggers. But that was just an example of how aggressive the deck can be. I was making hella misplays in there. Not getting that draw off inlet pulse could have been a game changer if I wasn't so far ahead already. We also could have called back the Anatagaster from the back, from the drop with Searching for Infinity Knowledge, which would have been a massive attack that could have swung from the back row. But I was trying to, with the way that the board was set up, I was trying to maximize on the number of markers that I had. So we already had one on this side, on our left side. That's why I put all three on the left side to be able to, when we called out the Morpho, to have it be as huge as possible. Because we had our 48 for 2, we had our 28 from Foxhole, we had our 15 from the back row, which was our smallest attack. Then we had our 33 from Inlet Pulse, and with Morpho, we would have Soul Blasted 1, so it would have been a 60k attack. With our opponent already at 5, I would have been amazed if they somehow defended through that. But even if they had defended through that, we would have had to worry about this big attack on their left, my right, but their 2 attacks coming from the other side would have been reduced each time. So, solid. Alright guys, as I often do, here's another look at the deck. I really like it. Like I said, I do think it needs a little more draw power, but maybe somebody who knows Stoatia better than I can will be able to help me, improve on it. I can tell you right now, I am nixing these because I fucking can't with the effect heal triggers. They sound good on paper, but every time I swear they fuck me. Anyway, guys, let me know how you feel about Levy Dress. This is our first Destin one, and it's got me really excited for the next one. We have another Destin one that should be shown this Friday, which is the Destin one of Scales, which is the one I'm excited for. So keep an eye out for that. If you guys want to see me mess with these decks live, again, that's here on YouTube or twitch.tv/ZaphicL. That'll be on Tuesday, noon, Eastern Standard Time. I appreciate you guys for all your support. If you guys want to check me out on social media, those links are down below. That is it from me, and I'll catch you guys on the next video. Later.